Hello, good afternoon. Hello, party people, beautiful people. How are you doing? It is Friday, October 25th. Can you believe it's October 25th? Where's October gone? It just got here. Like, what's going on? Um, Make sure my screen is somewhat low. Wow. If you missed last night, hello, my name is Kristen Nicole Mann. I have just started my day. I've been up, but I'm just like, I got my energy drink. Last night was amazing. I had the opportunity to interview the beautiful Erica Etienne, and she is emotional intelligence certified. She has a certification, and we had a conversation about that yesterday. As I always do, let me make sure that I'm live and that everyone can see me clear. Um, let's just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So you can go watch that on my YouTube channel, Kristen Nicole Mann, and then on Facebook, it's still up. And yeah, so we're gonna talk about this new topic that kind of goes with that. But I won't be talking as much about emotional intelligence, but I will be also talking about another soft skill such as creativity. And within conversation with a lot of people, I've recognized that people are overthinking their creativity way too much, and that word can scare people depending on where you're at with your perception of creativity, because everybody has a different definition, perception. When someone says that word, what do you think about first? That's what you need to start with. Like, what do I think about when I first hear the word creativity or create? It's not what you think. And so today I want to go over a few reasons why you may be overthinking your creativity. And hopefully this can help, because I'm the type of person that when I first started out with my art career, I did not overthink anything. I just kind of like whatever spaghetti string stuck. I was like, good. And then I found over a period of time, I was kind of like afraid to do that in that type of way. Like, I don't know what happened. It could be a various amount of things. It could be people, it could be um places, spaces, environment, whatever. But I do want to say that you do change when you go into things naively and zealous. That's what I want to say. Zealous. You go into them zealous, and you want to you're excited, you want to make a change with what you do. And people really will change you. Like, you really got to know yourself, because you can turn into being bitter. Your heart will be hurting because people will turn their back on you, all that stuff. And I want to tell you today, like, don't pay attention to that stuff. This might be a different message from what I would have posted like a couple years ago. Don't pay attention to that stuff. That stuff hinders your creativity. If you keep like constantly rehashing and opening wounds of what people did, why they did it, that's overthinking in itself. So that probably should be number one. Like, stop thinking about who hurt you, because that is in the way. Honestly, these people probably just didn't need to go where you're going, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to not like them no more. That's okay. We all grow, we all change, we all have seasons. And if you keep trying to stay in that place of changing and arranging people, you're not God. God is God. I don't know why I went that direction, but anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'll probably go over the first point. First point is fear of uncertainty. This is why you're overthinking your creativity. Fear of uncertainty. So you might worry about the unknown. A lot of us do that. We worry about, okay, how's the outcome gonna be? What's the end gonna look like? And you honestly have to go through that process. It doesn't matter what you start, there's always gonna be an unknown. You're never gonna know fully what is going to happen at the end. Now, if you control that narrative and you want to control what happens at the end, you probably will overwork yourself and it won't come out like you want it to. And so you will be very disappointed when it comes to the outcome that you wanted to control and have um, in your creation. So I would just say let go when it comes to creating. Now, I know some people are in their prospective jobs, and I'm not telling you to do what you want on your job. I'm not telling you to go against the grain on your job. If you're an entrepreneur, of course, you can always push the envelope. On your job, it will be different because you are working with a team. You're working, even in entrepreneurship, I can be working with a team and I can't necessarily push that envelope like I want to in places that I'm contracted for, or there's a certain protocol. So you have to, going back to last night, use emotional intelligence to know when to do things and when not to do things. So fear of uncertainty, we all have that. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, don't listen to people that, oh, I don't have fear, nothing. That's a lie. Everyone at one point or time, when they think about these things and execute these things, sometimes you do get in your thoughts a little bit. And that's okay too. We're all human. We're not nobody's better than anybody else. And I just want you to know that we all wrestle with that. So that's the first point. Second point is fear of failure. This probably can go neck and neck with number one, fear of failure. How many of us are all scared to fail from time to time? I am. Yeah, you could look at my page and you could think I'm always strong. You could always think that, Kristen just, she does what she does. She's confident. Sometimes I do have a fear of failure. And this could block you in your creative process, your creative thinking, your writing. Even if you have a project to get done, this could block your creativity because you feel the outcome is going to be failure. And we have to, I've learned growing into being a woman and being a parent, we're going to fail a lot of times. We're going to fail in life a lot of times. It doesn't matter if you you rolled this whole launch out and everything was perfect. Let's say you're launching a product. You have this product, you planned, you talk to the team, you talk to the customers or potential customers, you marketed it, you rolled it out, and let's say it failed. You're going to be a little bit hurt, right? But you have to know that this is something that you can add to your resilience and your perseverance. Like, that might have failed, but let's try again. And I would say that window that you try again is, don't make it so long. Don't stretch it out to be 2, 3, 10 years later. Get right back up, strategize, and do it again. Do it in another way. Listen to people. You might have to have a coach. Like, Erica said last night, you might have to take a master class. You might have to learn from the people that has done it before you. And it might be someone that you never thought of learning from. How about that? You might have to get out of your comfort zone and learn from someone younger than you. You might have to get out of your comfort zone and actually listen to an elder. You might have to get out of your comfort zone and actually go to a networking event or event in your community that they don't maybe look like you. Maybe they're all white. And you're like, I'm black. What, they're not gonna like me. If you think like that, you're gonna be in the way. If you think, okay, they're all this, so I don't look like them, I don't have the same cultural, ways or perspective of the world, you might block your blessing. So fear of failure is number two. Now this one is really, really big. Perfectionism, number three, perfectionism. And I'm not typing these in the comments right now. Sorry, I'll go back and type them. But perfectionism. So you might feel like you can't let go of something until it's perfect. Don't these sound like normal to you? Some of these should hit you. You might feel like you have to keep working on this thing. Like sometimes I have books or paintings that I do, and I'm like, oh, this just gotta be perfect. This has to be, I can't let this go. And what it does, it holds up the time that you are supposed to release it. It holds up the time that those potential customers, they might be praying to God right now and saying, I need a journal. I need a book. I need this painting. My living room is missing a picture. I'm just using those as an example. I might need a coach. And you're sitting here over, it's like this coach that I followed. She says, you're always in Canva and you're always creating and you're never putting nothing out and you're always stuck in that creation mode. That's actually perfectionism. Like you have all these projects that you're working on and you're not putting nothing out, you're not selling nothing, nobody knows what you do, and you're thinking like, oh, this is horrible. And someone else may think this is like the best thing ever. I've had things happen like that, like a painting I did and like I was like, oh, I don't like this. And I put it up anyway, and so many people liked it. So it's perfectionism is like almost a poison if you overdo it. It's almost like a poisonous shot to your creative process and execution. So get rid of the perfectionism. You are not going to like everything that you put out as far as like, oh, it's done, it's finished, it's complete. We all have that. And I don't know if y'all watch like documentaries on how they created movies or documentaries on how things happen. Like the story is always completely different than what we see on the finished side. So number three was perfectionism. Now, number four, false limits. False limits. You might be trapped by self-imposed limitations and not force yourself to look past what you're comfortable with. Now, this is also a big one because I'm a visionary. So I'm not necessarily, I can't relate to this one because but even visionaries have false limits. Like we even limit ourselves sometimes. Now, I always on my timeline on Facebook per se, I always say like think beyond where you're at. Now, I live in New York. I'm gonna give this as an example. I live in New York. I'm looking outside. I have all these trees. If I only think about what I see outside in front of me, I'm gonna never release what God is telling me to because it's gonna always conflict, like it's gonna be different than what you see. So the physical right now, I see trees. I see people driving. I see like, some houses. Now, let's say if this morning in prayer, God was like, I need you to release XYZ and I need you to release it internationally. Now, if I'm from New York and I'm only thinking about the community here, I'm limiting myself. I'm going to deny what God said and I'm going to say, but I see this right here. I see a road and trees and houses. And then God sees Africa, Asia, Paris, Ireland. I'm just throwing all these things out. You're gonna, if you don't accept the vision, you're gonna limit yourself. You're gonna be like, no, that's not for me. I can't do that. God, like, I can't do that. So you also, within the false limits, you think less of yourself. If I am trying to sell food or something, and let's say I only fed my family every holiday, and they're like, oh, this is great. And God's like, no, I need you to, sell your food in a school or to another restaurant. And let's say that restaurant is in California. And I'm looking outside and I'm like, I only see New York. I only see where I live. So we have to get rid of those false limitations that we have because 9 times out of 10, not 10 out of 10, our vision is always and our limits are always going to be smaller than what God has for us. God has such broad limits that we couldn't even imagine how far they are. We tend to shrink all the limitations because we don't think highly of ourselves. We don't have any confidence. We have low self-esteem. So we're thinking only 1 or 2 people from our backyard is going to like what we create. That's small. For God to have connections with billions of people, and I don't have to feel like I'm lacking still, and he's answering prayers for everyone. Why would we think small? Why would we put false limits on ourselves? So that's I think I'm on number 4. Yeah, number 4. So false limits, don't trap yourself. Don't trap yourself. So number 5 is stress. Dun, dun, dun. These are reasons why you might overthink your creativity. Stress. Let's say that again. Stress. Now, what practices do you all implement to not be stressed? Now, when I ask you that, you probably don't even know what I'm referring to because we just keep going sometimes. Like we just keep functioning, and we never think to ourselves, are we actually stressed out? Are we actually overthinking? Are we actually not in our purpose? Am I just floating? Am I just functioning? Am I going in the direction that God actually wants me to? Like, do y'all think about that? Do y'all ask yourselves those questions? Because it's hard to ask yourself that. It's very hard to take a look at yourself. It's like a mirror. It's hard to look at the ugliness on the inside and say, I'm actually I am stressed. It's okay to say that. But when you're under pressure, your brain might be preoccupied with survival mechanisms, making it difficult to think creatively. So let's go to what surviving mechanisms are so that you can clearly assess where you're at when you get off of here, because I don't think sometimes we know. All right, so a survival mechanism is an automatic action or response that helps a person or animal survive. You notice how that says a person or animal survive in a dangerous or stressful situation. So, fight or flight response. Now, have you heard that term? If you have, I don't want to assume everybody has. If you haven't, a fight or flight response is a psychological or hormonal response that helps people and mammals react to life threatening situations. This response can also be triggered by non life threatening stressors such as work, pressure, or traffic jams. So I used to live in Northern Virginia. My sister still lives there, and I still go visit. And every single time we go, it is traffic, traffic. And I feel my body tense up. I feel my neck tense up. I do not miss that. I used to sit in traffic 2 hours going to work, 2 hours coming home because of traffic. That wasn't even the stress from my work. And then add the work stress. So you could be in fight or flight mode from just traffic alone. You could be in fight or flight mode from the work that you do. You can be in fight or flight mode because that's just the functioning of your surrounding environment. Another survival mechanism is adaptability. Now, this is also a soft skill. So adaptability can be a good thing. But in this case, uh, it's using it in a military form because when you're in the military, you have to adapt no matter what to survive. And it's a valuable skill, but this goes along with the stress because that is the effect of it, whether we want to say that or not. It's an effect, it's a side effect of uh survival mechanism. So quick assessments, uh, biofilms. I don't know what that doesn't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but quick assessments is evolutionary psychology suggests that humans evolved to make quick assessments to evaluate threats and find safety. So we're living in a fast-paced time. We have to always make decisions quick, microwavable. This happened and elevated more when we started using this, the handy dandy internet. Everything is at our fingertips. So this is why I think, side note, in the education sector, there's going to be more and more of a clash because when these kids, they are born with tablets, they're born with the internet. When they go into a school environment, it goes like, ooh. Then when they're home, it's like, so that's kind of conflicting right now to parents. Y'all know, but I think over a period of time, they're going to have to change the landscape. But anyways, back to survival mechanisms. So that goes along with stress, fight or flight mode. A lot of people are living in that in these times. Stuff is changing. We have, people living in environments or neighborhoods that they never lived in before. It's a lot going on. And I won't touch on that too much, but I just wanted to share what survival mechanisms are. So, overthinking can give you an illusion of control, but it can also hinder your creativity. Some say that moderate to vigorous physical activity can help reduce activity in the parts of the brain that are involved in overthinking and can help you have the aha moments. So that's why you feel when you go and work out at the gym or you go on a walk, you don't have to go to the gym. You can go on a walk in the park and you can feel like you're getting the answers that you need. I know this, I'm a witness to this. It definitely helps to walk. Also, when you clean up, your brain is not looking at all this scattered stuff. Now, I don't suggest you pack up your creative space. I guess that's another live for another day. But honestly, if you pack up everything that you're working on, it's going to not really help you come back and finish that. That's a whole other thing, but it's going to make extra work for you. But when you go on a walk, or when you clean up, or even in the shower, have you ever heard anybody say, like, I get these bright ideas in the shower? Because you're not overthinking. The water is flowing, it's like relaxing. And that's why I get a lot of ideas in the shower because it's sacred. I don't know. It just does something. But these are all things that help you combat your overthinking. So I say all this to say, go back and watch yesterday, the interview with Erica Etienne, and we talk about emotional intelligence along with other soft skills, and it will really help you and prepare you for if you're transitioning careers, if you are embarking into entrepreneurship. Both sides of the coin need these soft skills that we talked about. And then with overthinking, I put up a post, well, a couple posts the other day, like start the blog, start the podcast, um, start the YouTube, start blah blah blah. And I was so surprised that people are still scared to put themselves out here. But let me tell you, it is hard, but I'm telling you, once you keep doing it, you're just going to start not caring and you're going to show people that side of you that they always wanted to see. They just didn't know yet. And what could definitely be hindering you is people that you know. Like, people don't get on here and live and stuff because they're like, that person knew when I was XYZ. Like, a lot of people that are on my page, they knew a whole different Kristen. Like, they didn't even know Kristen. They knew Nikki. Like, I still get called Nikki, but I was I was a lot back then. I was doing stuff back then, but I know that I've been transformed, redeemed, and I got the confidence of God. And that's my past, and that's part of my story. And I can't change that. You can't change the past. Like, you can't change your story. You can use it to help others. You can be a testament, a miracle that people see, like, wow, she went through all this stuff, or she was in a whole other different phase of life when I knew her, but it's so great to see her um now doing whatever. And then sometimes people don't like, seeing you rise above. But that's not for you to overthink. That's not for you to overthink about. Because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for to serve the other people that you're called to. And if they don't find you, imagine what it's doing to them right now. They're praying, they're praying, they're praying, they're wondering, and you might have what they need locked inside of you. And it reminds me of the passage in the Bible about the talents, the burying the talents and the gifts and just sitting on them. Why are y'all just sitting on your talents and gifts? We're not going to always be able to get on freely and do stuff. You might have to start paying to get on and have a channel on YouTube. You might have to start paying for Instagram. You might have to start paying for Facebook. Like, these are things that might be implemented not too far ahead. So if you don't start now, you're going to be crying later. So if you need any help setting up, because I am a business owner, I am not a charity. I gotta repeat that sometimes because I think sometimes people, if they don't understand what you do, they kind of write it off as something not important. I don't even tell y'all the half of who I help because I don't feel like I don't have to brag about it. I just do my work and then I move on. And if you need help, I have receipts. So I am gonna let me pull up my actual Facebook. Hello, Tiffany. I don't know if you're still on. Good afternoon. Thank you for watching. If y'all have any questions, so I'm putting the link if you need a creative consultation to set up your YouTube, to write your book, to start a blog, to start a podcast. Holla at your girl. This is an hour and 30-minute session. You will walk away with something set up. It doesn't have to be all of those. And that's another thing too. I think people overthink it too much because they feel like they need to start all of those at one time. I tell people all the time, your post on Facebook, if you type deep thoughts and it's actual something of substance, that's blog entries. Like start a blog. Start your YouTube with those type of topics. I see it every day. People have elaborate posts, and I'm like, why do they not have a blog? Why do they not have a YouTube channel? Why do they not have this or that? Because you're overthinking and you're thinking you have to do all of this at once. I did not have 38,000 followers last year or the beginning, well, middle of this year. But once you stay consistent at something, you will see the reward, but it just won't be right away. And honestly, if you want to right away award or get rewarded for that right away, I don't suggest you start anything that has to do with longevity because it's going to take work, it's going to take perseverance, and it's going to be just a process. All right. So I hope that you contact me. I want to shout out my client. I helped upload her children's book on Amazon. She is author now of, I think I posted it the other day, CJ's Magical Locks. It's about her son. And she came to me because I didn't write her book. This is what happened. She worked with someone and they did not make a great cover for her book. So that's how it started. I redid her cover for her children's book. And then I ended up formatting everything, outlining everything. And this was a year in between. Like, we didn't even talk about the book. I don't even know where she was at. And she just came back in my inbox and was like, "You help." And so I helped her, and she had her ISBN number and all that, but she just didn't know how to have the book distributed. So she's done now, and her book is now on Amazon, and I'll put that in the link as well. But yeah, I just wanted to get on real quick. This will be on my YouTube channel. If you have not liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, it is Kristen Nicole Mann, just like that. And you'll see all my videos come up. And let me see if I can put that in the link. I'll have to put it later. Oh, here it goes. I'll have to put it later. Oh, I could put it now. All right. And my mom, I just finished her children's book and she has sold, I think, like 10 or 11 copies, and it just came out. So we working over here. We working. And then obviously I have my own stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to help others. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been on live with videos. I started my podcast 2018. The name might have changed a couple times, but I've been blogging since 2011, 2010, 2011 when it wasn't that popular within my circles, but other people was doing it. They was on Oprah making money off of it, but yeah, I've been doing all this digital stuff for a long time. So if you need help, let me know. You don't have to start with a product. You don't have to start with a business. let those lies fly off your radar. You don't have to start with a business and all. You don't have to have all that. You just start getting what you are called to talk about out there. All right. So talk to you all later. Have a good Friday. I might be back on later, but see you soon. All right. Bye.